Good morning, Pisces. Good morning. I hope you guys had a good night's sleep. I hope you woke up today feeling happy, safe, and peaceful. Thank you to everyone that has liked, commented, subscribed, and gave donations. Happy Wednesday. All right, let's pull one of these. This is by Maruka X. We also have the Eight of Swords, and that is by, no, that's Wake Me Up. Spirit, angels, ancestors, and higher beings, please help me with this message today for my beautiful Pisces people, my Pisceanos. What messages do we have for Pisces? We have Witch. You have a strong connection to the universe that, if developed through study and practice, you can live an empowered life that can bring forth positive changes. So I feel like people think you're a witch a lot, witch, warlock, whatever. I know better. I just know that you're very connected to the other side and to Mother Earth, and you have your ways, you know. You're not a bad person. A lot of people associate this thing with being bad people, but not everyone. Some people look at you in amazement because I can hear someone say, "Are you a witch?" And I think they're saying it because you can change a situation around. There's a person that's very difficult, very difficult. And somehow you say the right things to kind of get them to, I'm gonna use the word conform, even though I don't want you to sound so controlling, but maybe just for them to see reason. That's what it is, Pisces. Okay. They don't see reason sometimes. They go off on their own path, you know, and they don't see reason, but somehow you say a few words, or I don't know what you do here, but and they seem to see another person's point of view. You know, so I do see someone that looks over when you do this, and in their mind they think, "Are you a witch? Like, how did you get this person to conform?" Is not the right word. It's just seeing some other perspective. That's what I'm gonna say, Pisces. I know you probably do your things. You may light a candle. You may ground. You may look at tarot. You know, you have your ways, Pisces. You are a beautiful soul. Don't let anyone tell you any different. You know that there's more than meets the eye. And I feel sorry for whoever messes with you, because they don't know with whom they are dealing with. You have a big heart, and the universe loves you for it. The universe, God, considers you one of his people. So that's how connected you are. And that's where this word witch comes from a lot, Pisces. Like, it's just, why do things go in your favor? Why can't someone attack you and then, you know, you be destroyed? You know what I mean? Like, why? And it's because you have a higher force or a bigger force that has your back, Pisces. And that's what that's all I'm going to say about that, okay? All right, let's pull a few cards and see what else. Spirit, tell me more. Five of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Hierophant. That's my God card. I'm going to start here. So this is where you receive messages. This is where you see the book there. Like, God is telling you things. God is handing you things. I see this Eight of Swords here. I think a lot of you got stuck somewhere before, or someone put you in a box. Hold on, let me start here. Someone put you in some form of a box, right? And I think you had to pull a Houdini trick, some type of Houdini. See, this is what I was feeling, like somebody or some people thought they can stick you in something or push you into a certain direction. And maybe it looked like that for a second, like, where's Pisces going to go? We got Pisces cornered over here. But you pull acts, you pull a Houdini act is what I'm saying, like a magic trick or a show, Pisces. And somehow you see that opening right there, you found the opening even with your eyes closed, Pisces. Like you to me that says like you didn't need some type of physical knowledge because you had some type of supernatural abilities or help to get you out. You went deep. See, when you have a blindfold on, to me that's a sign of meditation. That's a sign of not being able to see what's in front of you. So what do? You go inward, right? You go inward. And what do you pull out? You pulled out a lot. You pulled God out. You pulled out a higher power out. You know what's I'm feeling something right now, a story. There was this man and he lost everything. He lost his family. He lost his money, no money. And he was very upset, of course. And one day he went to sleep and he wanted to talk to his dad. There's things that we can do for that, right? What do? We meditate before bed. We pray, ask for a white light of protection. And when we go in, because we go through realms, I don't know if you guys know this, especially in our sleep, like we can do these things, Pisces, we can do these things. So we go into our sleep and you can go through all these different realms. So the guy was trying to see if he can connect with his deceased father, because his father was a great family guy and he was also a great business guy. And it worked. He connected with him and they had to sit down, like a one-on-one conversation, all in his dreams. He gave him step by step what he needed to do. And the guy woke up, did it, got everything back, and then some, made even more money than he had lost before. So some people may call that a witch. Others call it being highly aware or intuitive to the fact that all the information that we need in life is inside of us. I don't know if people call it the Akashic Records. I don't have words for all this stuff. I just know that you can figure out how to encounter the right people in your life. Like there's light beings too. Like I don't know if you've ever heard or seen, I've seen them. Like if you go deep in there, let's say you have like a healing, like you need some type of healing, physical healing or emotional or mental healing. And you before you go to sleep, you can say things like, you can just ask, for healing, guidance, or communication, even with your higher self. You can ask for these things. And you go in there, of course, white light of protection, because there's a lot going on out there, as we know. There's these beings, and you can find yourself in a room with them where they can heal you. You just have to be very energetically clean to get in there, and you want it. Your heart has to connect really big with it. So whatever you or whoever you desire to speak to, you can get it. And I don't know why that story is coming to me. Maybe you're put in situations, Pisces, where you need to get out of it. And maybe the physical world is not helping you. Like the people around you, they don't have the answer. Let's say that guy would have asked some other person around him. What if that guy didn't like him so much and gave him bad advice? Or what if, maybe he meant well, but it wasn't for him. The advice was not for him. It's like being in this energy of a witch or warlock or whatever you want to call it is, knowing that even if somebody has good intentions, sometimes they can lead you the wrong way. So it's best to just consult within yourself, like get your spirit good and clean. So that way and safe, the white light of protection. I like doing a Christ consciousness, FYI, because I love to walk with Christ, and that's me. But yeah, prayer is a great thing. Something that's coming to my mind very recently, I had a situation where I was doing the rosary, and I had information as I was doing the rosary that just came to me. So even in prayer, it can come to you. Don't underestimate the knowledge that you have inside of you. Don't underestimate it. I'll tell you what happened, but for people that care. But so I have a tooth. It's low, but it still helped me tremendously. I had a tooth and it was infected. Now it was a root canal tooth, and they wanted to pull the tooth, but the problem was that I had another tooth impacted in my gum line, and so they would have to pull that tooth too, and then I would have to rebuild my gum line. What is it called? Bone grafting. Yes. So I'd have to bone graft. That was going to take the doctor told me 3 to 6 months, but I was reading him and I'm like, bitch, you couldn't be here for 6 or 8 months. Like, I was just feeling him, like he's like, I'm trying to give her the lower end of the spectrum. But so I was like, because that right there put me off. Like, you're lying to me. Like, this could really be a big deal, in order for me to get an implant, And so instantly, I went into prayer mode, because I'm like, somebody wants to rip my mouth apart, and I went into prayer mode and I was praying, and I heard, get another opinion, get a second opinion. There is another way. And so I was like, all right. So I did. And I went to another doctor, and she referred me to an endo. And so I went to the endodontist, and I passed all the criterias in order to get a second root canal. So I didn't have to go through all that, put it this way. Another person would have probably allowed or let somebody rip them apart, and it is what it is. But when you're highly connected or intuitive, you will get these messages and these feelings or thoughts, and they're implanted in you, as a guide in a way. Like, I don't know how to explain that, Pisces, but yeah, and I've had deeper issues too, a lot deeper issues. I had a mental health issue, that could be 8 of Swords too, like, a complete breakdown, loony bin, insane asylum. I left, Pisces. I left, and I tried to do the right thing at first before all that happened. I was going through a deep depression to the point where I couldn't get out of bed, and I had my bladder was filled with urine, and I couldn't get out of bed. Like, I became like so disabled. Like, it was insane what your depression or your mind can do. So I just remember, like, I needed help, and I did. I went for help to the doctors, and they gave me more medications. Well, not more. They started me with medications, and I took a left. Like, I couldn't tell you things anymore. Like, I was gone. So I made a lot of poor decisions after that too. But so that taught me a huge lesson in life, that the way I got healing was not through the people outside of me. It wasn't through, and they meant well. The doctors meant well. Like, I saw therapists and psychiatrists and all that stuff like that. I got it because I entered a realm with God, with Jesus, and I felt the energy there, and that healed me within itself. That's why I say Christ consciousness is the best, because that will help you right away. That's all you need. But I know everyone has their own, and I'm respectful of that, because I know you have your own situations that have happened to you, so I understand. But so that healed me. That took me out of the box of my own mind, and so I learned a big lesson, that all my healing was done inside of me. I didn't have to look for things outside of me. And when I tell you, and a lot of people who've been here for a while know the story, like, I sat one day with all these doctors, and they were all behind one desk, and I was on the other side, and they were looking at me healed, and all like lucid and just there. And they're like, what did it for you? And you're not taking anything, no medication, no. And I'm like, no. And they were like, but what did it for you? And I said, it was God. It was God. I pointed up top and I was like, that was God. So some people will say you're a witch. You know what I'm saying? So these are the examples that I'm seeing here, Pisces, on why people may look at you a little funny sometimes. You know, we got the Five of Swords, because things like that don't happen to everybody. You know, people don't experience these things all the time. So we do have the Five of Swords here. This is a lot of pettiness, like egos, right, Pisces? Like people that are trying to challenge your witchiness. They're trying to challenge it, like, let me see if you're really that great. Oh, Lord. There's someone that is very jealous that you just say a few words and another person kind of just like listens to you. They don't like that. They hate that, actually. It irritates their demons tremendously. I don't know why, but I felt it. So yeah, so I do feel some form of a challenge. Let's go deeper, Pisces, and see what else. Spirit, tell me more. Six of Pentacles. We got a lot of hands reaching out. Four of Pentacles. Someone's trying. I think their pettiness is because somebody is trying to hold on to something. It could be them or just something. The Fool. I love this. Where do I go? I'm going to start here. Let's get to the good stuff, Pisces. The Fool card is like taking a leap of faith in a situation with the God card, the Hierophant. So look at that, like the birds holding them up and you're smiling because you know you're going to be all right. There's some rain there, but you're kind of enjoying it. You know, you're loving on the rain. You might be enjoying the rain outside. It definitely does make you walk different and act different when you can feel the connection to the divine in your life. Like, you know, I've been telling you that the animals have been so incredibly active and they've been amazingly communicative these days. So yeah, sometimes people may look at things like that and think, you know, you're a witch, or what's going on, or why are you talking to things, or how can you hear that, or how can you make the trees talk or move, you know, like all these things. Because you just know things. You have info on things. Like you live a different type of life, Pisces, which is, I can appreciate, I can relate to. So, you know, I don't know what the point is. I think it's around here, but we'll get to it. Hold on. Some of you may have found a divine connection. A lot of times this is marriage, or this is a union, or some form of a commitment, right? So I feel like you may have found some type of commitment that makes you feel like you can accomplish anything. It makes you feel like nothing can stop you. Someone makes you feel, it could just be the higher ups, your higher self, maybe your ancestors. Maybe that's the reason I had that person pop in my head that found his father in his dreams. But there's something here about you feeling that you are unstoppable. A force, right? Let's see. The Six of Pentacles. There's somebody that's very thirsty for help, like somebody that is trying to reach out to you. I see that with the hands. Like, can you just give me a little bit of what you got? Can you just give me a little bit of your light or your energy? Like someone's turning to you for some type of support. This is a little bit of a breadcrumbing energy. Like I feel like it's never enough with a person. Like somebody needs to cultivate their own connection or their own miracles. Like there's somebody here that cannot do it by themselves, and they kind of like are very thirsty and they want to reach out to you and they want you to hold their hand and give you whatever it is that you got. Be very careful. Let me pull one more. Be very careful. I'm always like a very motherly figure here, and a lot of times people will drain you. Sometimes people will grab onto you just to drain you. But let's see one more. Two of Cups. All right, so that's not too bad. Two of Cups is a two-way communication. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So there's somebody here that I feel like is going to be very appreciative. They're going to be very appreciative that maybe you communicated with them or you helped them in some way. You know, it's like when you run with your two legs tied, like you don't have a choice to deal with something or someone and you do it together. You have to have some form of teamwork here, Pisces. There could be somebody that is learning this lesson today, that it's not all give, and give. I feel like, I think this is you, Pisces. I think you used to give, and give. And now you realize, no, this isn't a one-way street. This is a two-way street. So if we're going to make this work, we both need to work together. So I think you stood really hard on your boundary. What is coming to my mind? You stood really hard on that boundary. Hold on. Yes, okay. Now I know what's coming to my mind. There was this meme. No, not a meme. I don't know what it was. I saw a cartoon. It was a cartoon. So something in psychology, I remember, but it's something about there was a mother okay, so they were showing a mother and a father's different ways of parenting. So the mother would check in on the child early. Like the child had to leave at 7 a.m. to get ready for school, and they needed their lunch, they needed their backpack, they needed their clothes, you know. And so she wake them up early, and she kept coming into their room, you know, like, okay, you got 10 minutes. Okay, you got 5, you know, like just timing, right? And the child didn't respect her. Didn't. Just laid in bed sleeping. So frustrated, the mother. Like, you know, she had to prepare everything herself and get the child ready herself. You know, like, and it was frustrating because if the child just listened and met her halfway, they can work it together. But he didn't do that. So the father's tactic was very different. Now these are examples. So the father's tactic was, you know, he did one call. It was like, what, you got one time. And so he did the one call and nothing. So he's like, oh, well, you're too late. Come on, let's go. And he took him in his pajamas, took him in no lunch, no backpack. And the kid's like, oh, they're going to laugh at me. I'm in my pajamas. And, you know, I don't have no food. And he's like, well, you know, I told you. And you're not, so sit your ass down. He drove him to school, you know, very frustrated. But the thing is that this goes to show you the difference in, you get one chance. You know, you get one chance. You know, do you want to be the mother? And that's what I'm feeling here. I kind of felt where you gave somebody the one, you got one chance, you know, and they just kind of it's like when a person, you give them an inch, they take a yard, they keep wanting more. That's what I see with the hands reaching out. This is different. This is like, I do my part and you do your part and we get this done. So this could be at work too. It doesn't have to just be like a family or a love dynamic. Like maybe at work, it's like, do your part, I do mine, and we accomplish a lot more together. You know, and I feel you being an enforcer of that. Like you have really good boundaries, right? Like you're just like, you're not going to cross over this boundary. No, I'm not the one that's going to allow you to drain my energy, waste my time. You're not better than me. So I think this is why people are wondering, like, why does this person respect Pisces so much? Why is Pisces so respected so much? And I think this is the thing. You get one chance. I have no idea what I'm saying, but let's keep going. We have the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles here. Yeah, so this is where I feel like there's some type of pettiness, like somebody that's trying to try you because they're trying to hold on to something. Maybe they're trying to hold on to the old way of being, maybe the old way that you were, maybe another person. I'm not sure. Let's do one more. That's a lot of times petty behavior. People let their egos get the best of them instead of realizing, like, you know, You're not going to get nowhere with Pisces or Pisces person like this. But let's see. The Emperor. It's definitely a control thing is what I'm feeling. That is what the Emperor is. It's definitely a control. It's good to have something to do with money as well. Someone that feels like they should have more money or get more money, but you're like teaching them a lesson in respect in your time. Someone that may be used to a lot more control as well until they met you. Like, are you a witch? You know what it feels like to me? Um, what's that show? Daddy Warbucks and Little Orphan Annie. Like, I just get the vibe like, why did Daddy Warbucks, like get so moved by Little Orphan Annie? It's like something happened. She charmed him. He saw something in her that was very different than the other children or the other people. There's something like that I'm feeling in your life where people just look at you. No, but she's just an orphan, or she's just one of the others. She's just like everyone else. And it's like, you're not. So someone saw potential within you. They saw, potential within you. And I feel like others are questioning, like, well, why? It's like that snarkiness. Like, I don't see why. So even if this is another woman, Pisces, let's just say you have, oh, I see him. I see you, bitch. Okay, so you may be with a person that others have either dated, thank you, Train, that others have either dated before or, God forbid, I don't see the threes a lot, but I don't know. They look at you and they're like, but why? Like, I don't understand. Oh, it's because she's a witch. She probably put a spell on him, or she probably, did something. Maybe she put something in his food. Like, that's what I'm hearing. That's what they believe. They truly believe that the only reason that you got this person to listen to you or to you calm this person down is because you did something. It is what it is, Pisces. The people can think that all day, and they're right. Not for nothing. You do have power, but it's not the way they think. You didn't. The thing with being a witch, to be, and I know these things, if you want to be on the good side of playing with the energies, the only thing that you do is you play with your own energy. If you play with someone else's energy, you crossed the line. You've moved over. You went somewhere else, So, you probably been taking good care of yourself. Like right here with like, I'm not giving handouts. I'm not, I need to receive too. This needs to be a two-way street, like this is, that's respectful. That's like you being good with the universe. The universe loves balance. The universe is like, there's my child, like fair, so yeah, like I can see why people would think that, but it's a completely different way that you're doing that. But let's see here. Queen of Swords, Seven of Cups. A lot of times you be saying things and it has people like wondering, like they thought they knew you, but then when you speak, it's like you're somebody else to them. Like you're like, okay, wait a minute. I thought you were this way, but no, you're not. You're very different. You're like, I think sometimes people do fall for it or fall for you and your words. Like you're very persuasive, I guess, Pisces, but that also leaves a person in their mind kind of thinking like maybe you are something else. Maybe you are something good or bad, and it's like it just leaves them really thinking. And that's not your problem, like I see who you are very clearly, and I see that you gain all this knowledge because you've been probably put in a box in your life and you found the way out. You Houdini'd yourself out of this box and you're not allowing anyone to put you back into any other box. So this may be like a relationship that you're in where you learned a lot from your past relationships and you're like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going there again. All right. What advice do we have for Pisces? Three of Wands. Okay, so this could definitely deal, Pisces, with in some type of outside interference. And then the Eight of Pentacles. Some type of, you may be going somewhere. I see the suitcase. Like it just, sometimes these things like really, is that Paris? Some of you may be going to Paris. I don't know. Or you want to go to Paris, or you have something in your house about Paris. I don't know. Clothes. It could be something about clothes. I don't know. Some of you may make things like with your hands, create things. I've been feeling a lot of that too, Pisces. Like you do things with your hands. Under advice. Hold on. A lot of you, if you want to travel or if you want to, now I see. Okay, hold on. Remember when I was telling you about the guy that did lost everything, right? And was trying to find his way back and connected with his dad, and he told him step by step. So I think a lot of you are receiving, like, you know what you need to do. Like, you already know. You know the steps that you need to take. Whether it's educating yourself, whether it's grinding some more. There's things that you want out of life, and I feel like you really need to take more initiative. You need to be, I'm not calling you lazy or you're not taking initiative, but there's something here that you want, and you know exactly how to get it. You were given the information on how to get it. So there needs to be a lot of action. Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles is a form of go get it. There's a lot to explore. There's a lot to do out there. So whatever this is for you, Pisces, the advice is go get it. Get it yourself. You can get things yourself. That's what I'm feeling, because you have information inside of you that you pulled out, and there are these step-by-step things that you need to accomplish and get done. You make a list is what I'm hearing. You need to be very organized, because I get like this Pisces energy over here where we're very intuitive. We go where I flow. We're very hippie-like, but not your average hippie. I always say that because it's true. But at the same time, there needs to be a lot more routine and structure. I'm not saying you guys don't have it. I'm saying that there needs to be more structure, more passion, more desire, because there's things that you want. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want a new Bugatti, Maybe you want, a hot body, Then you better work, bitch. That energy is what I'm feeling here, because you have it. And if you don't, sit in a place of meditation and prayer, and before you go to bed, ask questions of what you need to do, because you have the answers inside of you. This is what happens when you corner a Pisces. We'll find a way out. So if you feel a little cornered in life, Pisces, I can guarantee you, I can promise you, if you do those things and you put a hard focus within yourself, you'll find your way out. All right, let's do career and money over here. See, for me, if I was to take that advice, I have a mess in my office. Mess. Huge mess. Need to fix it. Need to organize it. Some people work well in a mess is what I'm hearing too. But that's for me. But let's see. Spirit, tell me more. Sale, 50% off. Huge decisions. Insurance and the right direction. There's some type of backup plan that you need or that you have. Like, I don't know if you need it or you have it, but there's a backup plan. Or maybe, you need to create a backup plan before you move forward in this direction. Maybe it's like you're going to start talking to a person, or you want to start dating a person, but you need like your own security or your own insurance or your own backup plan is what I'm feeling. I don't know. That's for some of you. I do see the 50% sale. Like you are looking for sales. I feel like you hunting for sales these days. Like I need to get something cheaper. Like that's too much. I am feeling that. I do feel like saving something for a rainy day, like that's something in the forefront of your mind. Or this could just mean like insurance. Like some of you are trying to get insurance or need insurance. I don't know. And then I have a huge decision here, which is typical Pisces. Like there's a big decisions that I feel like you're entering, and this could be work related or this could be life related, but you're about to cross a door. Like I can literally feel where you're on the door, right in front of the door, and you're like, fuck, am I going to walk through this door? Am I really going to do this? Am I really going to go there? And I got right direction. Your internal compass is saying kick down the door. Boom! Walk in and strut, Pisces. Like, yes, this is what I'm about to do. I have no idea what we're talking about. All right, let's close this off with the Oshos if I can find them. See? Hold on. Watch something fall here. Oh, stack on stack on stacks of money. Stack on stack on stacks. Spirit, tell me more. Participation. The Master. Compromise. And we got patience. Who did you lose your patience for? There's an energy. I lost my patience. I went to Susan. I went to the extreme. And Spirit is saying that you did the right thing. That was the right direction. Why? Because that taught somebody a valuable lesson. It taught them that you're not going to be abused. You're not going to be used. You went to an extreme, and I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's like you didn't even compromise. Yet I feel where things are turning around. This could be with a new person, or it could be with the same one. I don't know. But you are not balanced. You did not start off that way. I think somebody needed to see an extreme reaction from you. Like, you may not even have spoken to this person, said hi to this person. You did not participate in anything. You did not appear to be as connected as you were, Pisces. I got to tell you. You did not appear in the beginning because they felt like you were being cruel. But Spirit is verifying with me that this was an extreme situation that you needed to do in order to wake somebody up. And have somebody come to me differently, approach me differently with respect. All right, Pisces, I hope you liked the reading. Please like and subscribe, and thank you.